For decades, the National Hot Rod Association, NHRA, was a titan of American motorsport. It was a spectacle that rivaled the biggest leagues in the country. The formula was simple but effective: pure speed, deafening noise, and grandstands packed shoulder to shoulder with screaming fans. However, as we look toward 2025, that picture has changed dramatically. The sport that once compared itself to the Super Bowl is now fighting for its survival. According to recent analysis by NitroNation today, the NHRA is facing a perfect storm of declining attendance, an aging audience, and internal leadership struggles. Here is a look at why the NHRA is in trouble and what is threatening to silence the roar of the drag strip. The empty seats problem. The most obvious sign of trouble is visible to anyone watching a race. The crowd is gone. Events that used to be sold out, like the prestigious U.S. Nationals in Indianapolis, now feature rows of empty seats. This is a critical issue because drag racing is a sensory sport. It relies on the live experience. The smell of nitro fuel, the chest-rattling vibration of the engines, and the energy of the crowd are things that do not translate well to television. When the grandstands are empty, that energy disappears, making the event feel less important to those watching at home and those at the track. A missing generation of fans. Perhaps more worrying than the empty seats is who is sitting in the remaining ones. The core fan base of the NHRA is aging. The average attendee is now between 35 and 50 years old. The sport is failing to connect with young people. In the past, children fell in love with cars through magazines or by visiting local tracks with their parents. Today, those cultural touchpoints are fading. Younger generations are spending their time on TikTok, Instagram, and esports. They're not growing up with a wrench in their hand, and the NHRA has not found a way to meet them where they're digitally. While independent automotive YouTubers have millions of subscribers, the NHRA's own digital presence is lagging, leaving them disconnected from the future audience. The star power void. Every major sport relies on superstars. Basketball had Michael Jordan, boxing had Mike Tyson. For the NHRA, that person was John Force. He was the face of the sport, a charismatic, larger-than-life personality that casual fans recognized. However, following a devastating crash in Virginia, Force's career is likely over. His absence leaves a massive hole in the sport. The NHRA has struggled to build new household names to replace him. Without compelling storylines or rivalries between famous drivers, it is difficult to get casual viewers to care about a race that lasts only a few seconds. The identity crisis, 1,000 feet versus the quarter mile. In 2008, following a tragic fatal accident, the NHRA made a controversial decision to shorten the race distance for its top classes. They moved from the traditional quarter mile, 1,320 feet, to 1,000 feet. While the decision was made for safety, it alienated many purist fans. For decades, the quarter mile was the sacred standard of drag racing. Changing it felt to many like shrinking a baseball diamond or a football field. It created a disconnect between the modern sport and its history. Many longtime fans still feel that the current format is not real drag racing, adding to their dissatisfaction. Business and leadership struggles. Behind the scenes, the business model appears to be cracking. Media rights. Unlike the NFL or NBA, which are paid billions to broadcast their games, reports suggest the NHRA actually pays for its airtime on Fox Sports 1. This limits their revenue and prestige. The cost of fandom. Attending a race has become too expensive for many families. Between tickets, travel, and food, a weekend at the track can cost thousands of dollars. Pay disparity. There is growing resentment regarding money. While team payouts have been cut and costs for fans have risen, NHRA executives are reportedly earning high six-figure salaries. This gap between the leadership and the racers has created tension and a lack of unity. The rise of competition. To make matters worse, the NHRA is no longer the only game in town. The International Hot Rod Association, IHRA, is staging a comeback. They are positioning themselves as the anti-NHRA, offering lower ticket prices and a more fan-friendly atmosphere. For fans and racers frustrated with the NHRA's high costs and corporate feel, the IHRA is becoming an attractive alternative. The road ahead. Is this the end of the NHRA? Not necessarily, but the warning light is flashing red. To survive, the organization needs bold reform. They must embrace a digital-first strategy to find young fans, develop new personalities who can carry the sport, and bridge the divide between the executives and the racers. Drag racing has always been about power and passion. If the NHRA can rediscover those roots while adapting to the modern world, it can thrive again. If not, the sport risks fading into history.